Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. It's part 102 today and this is massive. We've got a chance to get to an FA Cup final, a first major domestic cup final and a first cup final at all since the FA Trophy back in non-league. And we've also got a big opportunity to edge one step closer to some form of European football for the first time. We play 8th place Southampton, realistically one of only two sides who can catch us in our current position. They've both got a game in hand, them and Newcastle. And if we lose this, it starts to get very, very tense. Don't forget we played 3 of the top 4 in our last 3 league games of the season. So it isn't over yet, but we're doing our job at the moment. If you're looking forward to it though, seeing if we can edge closer to an unthinkable achievement this season, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. We had a big one yesterday in the head coach. You can find that up in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel, the football podcast and the new merchandise store. 5% off everything till the 7th of May with code LOADFM5 at checkout. You can support the show as a channel member down below by clicking the join button if you wish. But this is huge, and the rest of this season is huge for us. We've got an FA Cup semi-final that's winnable today against a solid Everton side. We'll be keeping a very close eye on Championship Brentford against City in the other one. We've then got Southampton who are right near us and Brighton who are in mid-table before 3 of the top 4 to finish the season. So even though we are in 6th at the minute, City are having a stinking year yet again. Newcastle and Southampton aren't far behind, and if Southampton do to us what Newcastle did in the last episode, I feel like with similar goal differences, we'll probably drop away come the end. But let's go and have a look at what's been happening since you were last with me. Just a few games off camera, and we've shown some of the hallmarks of a good team despite not being at our best at all stages, and that maybe is even more pleasing at this time of the year. So you can see that we've won all 3 games by a very narrow margin, and I think the last one in particular typifies this season. We started with a win against Sheffield United, a 2-1 victory after falling behind in the 4th minute, but Carlos Torres and Arlan got the goals back there. What a winner that was for the Brazilian January signing. It's his only goal since he joined the club in January, as you can see, but my word, is it going to prove to be an important one. A 2-0 win at home to Watford followed, Marco Cordes with a first half goal, and then Ian Watts, the youngster from last year's youth intake, he finally got a goal. He is just starting to develop. He's not going to make it as we first hoped, but what a moment for him. He'll have always scored a Premier League goal. And then at home to Leicester last time, this was the moment I started to believe genuinely that we could sneak 7th place, because as it stood, we were going into a position where if Southampton beat us and won their game in hand, and Newcastle won their game in hand, we were going to be 8th. But then in the 90th minute, Carlos Torres popped up, and it wasn't really a deserved victory. We were pretty poor. It was an average game. It was sort of dwindling into a 0-0. But Carlos Torres, the hero, the FA Cup semi-final, we go into it in good form. But the problem is, these games are only 3 days apart, and we finish with Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal. If we look at the Premier League table, just for a reminder, Liverpool 1st, Chelsea 3rd, Arsenal 4th, and already won a trophy. It is not going to be easy. Let's go and get through to the FA Cup semi-final though, because that's the one we really want to look at. If we can get to the final here, and in fact the other semi's already been played, let's see who won it. Of course it was. Manchester City 4 up at half-time against Championship Brentford. It's not a foregone conclusion. City aren't the strongest side in this game. They're 4th, they're 5th. They're an average Champions League/Europa League squad. They're not title winners by any means. But you can see they've still got some good players. Martinez, Delap, Tonali, Foden, all pretty decent, aren't they? But if we could get to a final, it would just be a landmark event for this football club. It would be a real statement of intent moving forward. And it would be lovely if it could be the first of many. But today we play Everton in the semis. Newcastle play Watford away in the Premier League at the same time. Watford scrapping for their lives at the bottom, but not a good team. We played them recently. So I'm interested to see how this one works out. Let's hope, if we keep an eye on that result, that Newcastle can drop some points against the odds. And let's hope we can make it to an FA Cup final, which not many would have predicted at the start of the year. But we have had a pretty lucky draw this time, and we've got to make the most of it. We've gone as strong as we can for the start of this game. We've got John Moore in goal, Chauvin and Chabinder the fullbacks, with Hannifan and Straker as centre-half, Arlan and Du, Moreira and Cordes the midfield diamond. Not sure between Cordes and McNeil, and it is a priority area for the summer. But either way, they've both played decently when they've been there. Ricker and Torres are up front. Ricker's not in the goals at the minute. Torres very much is, as we saw in the 90th minute of the last game. And we got a pretty strong bench as well. So we're going into the semi-final confident with 4 straight wins, including the quarter-final you saw last time out on camera. Now let's go and see if against a mid-table opposition we can produce the goods on the big occasion, or will we freeze at Wembley for the first time? Worth mentioning, we've got a phenomenal record at the National Stadium in this save, albeit largely a non-league. Let's see what we can do today. Well, no changes for us from the last game. 8 days rest, all pretty perfect. Everton, 5 changes. Very different team for them. David Turnbull is playing in their midfield. They've still got Ben Godfrey at the back, who's now skipper. Alexander Sinchenko is out at left back for them. And João Pedro up front, who in the other save, the head coach, is playing for Liverpool, the Merseyside rivals. So some very good players. We have got a warning to close down the other striker too. So I would imagine this is going to be a pretty strong Everton side. They're not that many points behind us this year. They're comfortably in the top half of the Premier League. They have been in the top half a number of times in recent years. So on paper, you'd argue this is 2 very evenly matched sides. And I guess that in itself is an achievement for us, with it just being our 3rd year in the Premier League. With 3 minutes in, we've got a corner kick, and I wouldn't mind a set piece to start, as Chauvin's up at the back post, is headed away, and Du keeps it in on the left. Can we make something of it though, as he recycles play, goes from distance, comfortably over the bar, but a positive start, we're on the front foot. Now can we create some golden chances? Well, I think we're getting our answer to that, aren't we? 25 minutes in, Everton have had the shots on target, but no highlights, not much in terms of expected goals, although it does suggest we're growing into it now. What I'm hoping is the superior fitness and the superior possession in this match will combine to make us a little stronger in the second half, because bar that first 3 minutes, we have seen nothing of this game. Both teams really cautious, really struggling on a big occasion at the National Stadium, but we are still in it, and that's all we could have asked for. So let's get the arms outstretched, let's ask the lads to keep going, and hopefully in the second half we get a bit more action, and it's the Everton keeper who has to do the work. As 5 minutes gone, it seems to be taking the same pattern. So maybe this is where we earn our money. I think substitutions might be decisive here. As Ricker gets the ball in the final third, goes back to striker on halfway. I hoped he wasn't going to go back to the keeper there. That would have been frustrating, as Ndu loses it in the middle, but he's straight back on it like a flash. Moreira plays him in. Oh, he's put it wide. That is a glorious chance. You're not going to get many better than that. Long ball forward from Everton, and if they make this count, that is going to be an absolute sucker punch. Down the left-hand side, or our left-hand side, Chabinder mops up and goes back to Moore. Long ball to Torres, which is intercepted. Gray finds Turnbull. Wide to the Everton right, where most of their threats come in. Into the box to Jacinto. It's a great save from Moore down to his left. You can see from the match ratings, no one's really playing that badly. But there's not been any quality, so I'm going to have to take a bit of a gamble soon. And just hope it pays off. As Zinchenko in down the right, big ball to the back post. Chauvin's there to head away. It was offside anyway, he wasn't to know. But it stays 0-0 with just over an hour gone. And we're going to have to make some changes. I'm leaving the front two, but Cordes will be replaced by Charlie McNeil. I will make the change at right back later, but I'm aware of Chauvin's threat from set pieces, as Shabinder's got one on halfway to Moreira. Keeps possession despite the challenge. Arlen finds McNeil, goes back to him again. Moreira to Torres. We only need one, as it's over the left to Shabinder. Chases, beats the Everton fullback there. Gets to the byline, knocks it across, deflects to Muller. Back out again, it's hoofed forward by Everton, and it's flicked on to no one. We're going to encourage these boys, because they're doing well. They're starting to build some pressure. A striker. In defence to Hannifan. Up to Moreira in the centre circle. We're going backwards again. Arlan plays a 1-2 with him. Out to Shabinder, it's a poor ball, but he just gets there first. And it's back to Arlan for the third time. To Charlie McNeil, who's dropped deep. And over the top to Shabinder. The left-back's made a brilliant run. And he barely ever scores. He's only got one more this season. I'm pretty sure we saw it on camera. But that was no pressure. Delightful little dink over the goalkeeper. And it's 1-0 to Hemel Hempstead. As it stands, we're going to the FA Cup final. Danilo Jose is on for Chauvin at right back. What a finish from the most unlikely of sources, which could be the most important goal of the season, as Hanifan gets it from John Moore, free kick in his own box. Striker can bring it out here, no pressure on him. Jose's to the right, there's strikers ahead. Plays through to Ricker, he's into the box, forced a little wide, but can cut back. There's two in the middle. Godfrey standing him. Is that going to be a penalty? It looked like he had a little hold of the shirt, but you can never really tell from here. But the referee's gone to VAR. We still had the ball and he stopped play, so it's got to be awarded. And it is. We've got a big chance here. Ricker has not been scoring recently, but if he scores this, we might be in the FA Cup final. Into the bottom corner. The keeper went the right way. He has no chance of saving that one. And we are 2-0 up with 14 minutes to go in an FA Cup semi-final. I think we might be playing in my favourite cup final of them all. 10 minutes to go. I'm going to give Torres a rest. McNeil will go a bit further forwards. Or in fact, let's go to our time-wasting tactic. Maya will come on for Carlos Torres. He'll slot in defence. I think we're going to play striker in the middle of the two. McNeil will stay number 10. Ricker will stay up front. And the rest of it will stay as it is. 10 minutes left. We've gone to 5 at the back. We're doing the old Arteta to see out the game. But despite being a pretty even one, we've got the better chances. And we've taken advantage of their poor fitness late on. There's 4 minutes of stoppage time added on though. And if Everton score just before it, it could get very nervy and very tense. That ball into the box is headed a way well. We've got 3 centre-halves in there. It should be 2. Though that one's got in behind. It's far too easy. John Moore comes to the rescue though. What a goalkeeper down to his left. I got so frustrated of telling you how good he was when he kept making mistakes that first season. But look what he's done today. Some big saves, some big moments. And Prince Shabinda, with a goal from nowhere, has secured us an FA Cup final place. Hemel Hempstead 2, Everton 0. And Manchester City will be the final episode of the season. The FA Cup final is going to be here. And it's going to be featuring Hemel Hempstead Town. Didn't expect that at the start. Let's go and skip ahead though, because we've got more jobs to do. We don't want to lose the FA Cup final and miss out on everything. And we've got 2 more winnable Premier League games before the top 4 running. So let's go and get through to Southampton and see if we can edge closer to European football. There's the confirmation then. Saturday the 21st of May. Is that after the last league game? It is. So the next episode, we're going to have one hell of a double header because we're going to be deciding 6th, 7th or 8th, I'd imagine. And we're also going to have Manchester City in the FA Cup final. That is an episode not to be missed. For now though, Southampton is even more crucial. 7 points behind with a game in hand. If they win it, it'll be 4 points behind with a game in hand. Newcastle won at Watford by 3-1. They're just 1 point behind us now. You'd expect City to get a win against struggling Leicester on Tuesday, put themselves well clear in 5th. And then it's the big one. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a little bit nervous. What do you think will happen? We'll be back in a minute to find out. Well, it's fitness test time, and I'd imagine there'll be a few struggling for fitness tonight. Shabinda is one of them, the hero from Sunday, but he has been past fit, so we're all right with him. Let's go and get ahead to it though. City did win as expected to tighten their grip on 5th place. And we're now battling it out with the 2 below us. If Southampton win this, it changes the picture massively. Look at if we win it though. They'll have 5 games left and there'll be a 10-point difference. I reckon we're pretty good for 7th and Europa Conference football then. And obviously with the cup final being between us and City, 7th will get European football of some form. And it might not be a bad thing to start in the Conference League. We know we're probably not going to win our last 3 games. So it boils down to this one and in Brighton at the weekend. We have got a lucky fixture schedule. That's been moved to Sunday for TV. So it's 4 days off after this. Let's see who's fit. Is it good? It's not bad at all. So I'm going to go and adjust this team if need be. And we'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, I'm not making any changes to the starting 11. I'm going to stick with it for now. I'm looking at the weekend and thinking Haruna, not cup tied. We can get him in for Cordes. We'll probably have to bring Jose in for Chauvin on Sunday. But for now, I'm going to stick with the 11 that served us well at the weekend and just hope they've got one more performance in them. If not, we may well lose out on 6th or 7th. Let's get through to the match though. The team selection's done. Is it the right decision or not? We're about to find out. Well, a 3rd successive game for us with the same 11 named, and I'm hoping that will outweigh the lack of fitness and the extra fatigue later on in the match. They've got Paunovic in charge, just sacked by Reading in real life a few weeks ago. But they've made 3 changes. They've got a pretty young side, as you would expect from Southampton in any save. We saw it in the head coach last year with them. But they have got Tino Livramento still there as skipper now. He'll be about 30. And Alfie Devine the same on the bench, the former Tottenham youngster. So let's tell the lads to carry out their last performance. We'll certainly take that again. But let's hope after questioning from the media, we can find a way for them to match our home one in the Premier League. And with 4 minutes gone, it's a Southampton corner. Doesn't look good for us, does it? Hanifan does well to head it away, but nobody is going out to close the ball. Coop Miners keeps it in. He finds Ngonge. Back to Coop Miners again. Dragged a little bit wide here, but they're keeping the ball well, Southampton. They get it into Ramos one-on-one. Cut back to the man with an open goal. Wow. How has that not gone in? He hit the post from less than a yard. I mean, it's embarrassing for the centre forward. But we're certainly going to take it. It's 0-0. I don't know how. Maybe the FM gods are shining on us today. As Shavinda finds Moreira to Arlan. Can we get on the ball and really make them pay for that? You miss a chance like that and then go one behind. You start to get the feeling it's not your day, don't you? As Ndu turns on the ball, goes wide to Shavinda. Not only is he fit, he's involved in the attacks now as well. As Moreira finds him again. Out to Shavinda on the left and Hanifan. Keeping the ball, composure, not trying to force it and not risking the fitness, though that one is really poor. It's headed away as far as Hanifan on the left-hand side. He's going to be forced back to Arlan, who's settled into that holding role so well. It's a brilliant ball from Shavinda to Ndu. And for the second game in a row, he's missed a gilt-edge one-on-one chance. This time, instead of blazing it wide, he's blazed it over. And it stays 0-0, and we're yet to have a shot on target, despite having the best chance of the match. Although, I'm not sure I can say that was better than the 1 yard out that hit the post. As Ndu plays to Arlan again. He's turned into one hell of a signing, that kid. We and ahed about it for a long time on deadline day. And I'm so glad that we decided to panic and bring him in. So it's a long ball forward to Ramos. That's a great touch. Chauvin really sweeps up well there. And more clears to Torres. Can we counter? Ricker's on the right if he finds him. Goes short to Ndu. Back to Torres. He's got one defender to beat. And he doesn't need to. Because he's curled it round him and the goalkeeper right into the top corner. That is a fabulous finish. 50th league goal for his career. And he's doing one hell of a job for us this season too. First shot on target, first goal. And European football is looking an awful lot closer now. As Ryan's got a throw on the right to Mayer. Southampton trying to get back at us. Ryan on the byline. Great challenge Shavinda. Hoofs it long downfield. There's nobody outside our own third. Torres was deep. It's a long ball forward. Hanifan intercepts for Ndu. Now can we counter? Cordes loses out, but it's straight to Ndu with a sliding challenge. He goes wide to Chauvin and into Cordes. Lovely first touch. Even better second to take him away. Gives it to Ricker to his right. Gets to the byline. He's forced very wide. Goes back to Chauvin. Into Ricker again. That's got to be a pen. Come on, referee. We go into VAR. Livramento from behind made a clumsy challenge. Is it in the box though? It is. Penalty awarded. Mario Ricker, for the second time in this episode, has a penalty to put us 2-0 up in a crucial game. This time, no, he doesn't take it. It's a good save by the keeper down to his left. He went the same way, but he met a much better goalkeeper, and that could be a crucial moment in this match too. Livramento keeps the ball at left back. His blushes are spared, but after a very good 15 minutes, it remains just 1-0 thanks to a missed penalty. As Moore plays out from the back for us, 5 minutes to half time. Into Dominic Chauvin. He's got men inside of him. Arlan's one of them. He finds Moreira, who's really developing well. Lovely ball forward, just under hit. Otherwise, Torres would have been away. October now, in goal for Southampton. Made a brilliant save from that penalty. Now can create a final chance for them in this half. Big ball over the top towards Souza. Flicks on for Ramos. He must be offside. The flag does go up. John Moore had come to the rescue anyway. It's getting tense though, and we're going straight from the free kick. Hanifan into Arlan. Back to striker and Arthur Ndu. To Arlan again. You can see how influential these three are in the game. The midfield, if we can get a great number 10, is absolutely top class. A striker goes wide to Chauvin on the right. Inside to Arthur Ndu. Up to Moreira. To Cordes. Torres makes the run. Blindside to the defender. That might be a big moment. What a finish from Torres. Rick has missed the pen. It doesn't matter. because Torres steps up when he goes quiet. It was the opposite way at the weekend in the FA Cup. Now, at half-time, it could be 3 because we've got a free kick. Cordes in. Well over here. It stays 2-0. October gets his hands to the ball. Can Southampton get one back? They've got 2 minutes of stoppage time. It would certainly change the complexion of the second half. Hannafan, been a man mountain, wins another header at the back. Gives it to Moreira and back to striker. Into Arthur Ndu. A third would surely see it out. As it's on the left for Southampton, they've won it back well there. Livramento charges over halfway. Down the line to his winger. Got support, instead plays the short ball. We're forcing them back, we're pressing really well, but it only takes one big switch of play like that. Maya surges down the right, one of the best players in world football in this game. Back to the edge of the box with a cross. To Livramento, completely unmarked. John Moore makes the save, but it's poor. He's not managed to hold it, he probably should have. And Southampton get one back at an absolutely crucial time. 2-1 to Hemel Hempstead at half-time. And if Ricker had scored that penalty, we almost could have started to celebrate European football. Let's go and talk to the lads though. It's still been a very good half. But maybe the fitness will tell the other way in this second period. We might have to be very clever and very tactical with our substitutions. We're just under 25 to go. We're back with Southampton on the left-hand side. Playing some lovely football here. Sousa gets in. Hannafan's fouled him. There's no way we're getting away with that. And surely we're not going to see 2 missed penalties in a game. Southampton are going to get back on terms, aren't they? VAR has given the penalty. Now, John Moore, I've talked you up in this episode. I've talked you up for 3 years. If ever you wanted to deliver me a moment, this would be it. Coop Miners. Oh, it's gone straight through him. Oh, you absolute clown. I've made you look so good. And then you do that to me. Let's get Arthur Ndu off because the fitness is really getting us here. He's going to be replaced by Kaplan. Bit more of a defensive-minded box-to-box. Shabinda will be replaced by Jose at left-back. We'll leave the last one 5 more minutes. That, though, a very stupid challenge. As John Moore's got a free kick with 7 minutes to go. Edge of his box, plays to Hannifan and striker. Chauvin on the right, don't get caught. Arlan gets there. Over the top towards Torres. Nobody there. Is headed away as far as Maya, who you can see is driving his team forward. He's such a good player. As Ryan goes up to Sousa. On the right-hand side, gets to the byline. Southampton have 6 in the box, and there's one of them. It's a wonderful header. And this is the quality we're up against. Maya is a £100 million player. They've got 6 players who are attacking the penalty area, and we've run out of steam. That cup semi-final has just caught up with us. Look at Roman Maya here. He is genuinely top class. And in the end, despite being 2-0 up after 42 minutes, we lose 3-2 at Southampton. And it looks like the FA Cup might be our best chance at Europe, given our running. Back in a moment to look through the schedule, but you all know what we're going to be back for. Well, the race for the last 2 European spots in the league is really hotting up. Presuming Southampton and Newcastle win their game in hand, Newcastle will be 2 points above us and Southampton 1 behind. And I can't imagine that either of them have got a harder run in than us. But there is one little positive that might save us. They've still got to play each other. So hopefully that can sneak us 7th. If we could get Europa Conference football, I'd be delighted. I think the Europa League's a bit too much of a step up, but it could be a very special season. And it's going to finish with a special event. We will be back for the final game of the season at home to Arsenal. How crucial is it going to be? We'll wait and find out. Of course, Prince Shabinda won't be able to play there, and we may well be resting everyone for the FA Cup final, because we'll then be at Wembley Stadium to face Manchester City. What a moment. What an event. And I hope you'll come and join me for it. If you did enjoy this episode, a big FA Cup semi-final win and disappointment away on the South Coast, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. We're back tomorrow in the head coach with a very new look competition to take part in there. But in the meantime, you can catch up with yesterday's massive episode from that series in the eye above. There's also a link there to the Twitch channel, the football podcast and the new merchandise store. Don't forget to use the code at checkout before the 7th of May. But above my head now is yesterday's head coach. Thank you very much for watching as always. And I'll see you here in a couple of days' time for an FA Cup final featuring Hemel Hempstead Town.